All right, here we are. It's a little bit after 1 o'clock, 1:13. So we'll see if they have many students show up. Oop, oop, oop. Look out. It's actually safer without the light than it is with. I say it's safer when I have the red light than when I have the green light.
Yeah. It was counting down.
Right. Yep. Oh yes, they've smeared it around. Yep, they got this chalk as well. Zena's and I were here earlier this morning, and Zena's laid out a bunch of chalk tech, and they've cleaned it up. You know the part on the other side of the building where you said if you clean this off, you're an occult? It looks like they gave that extra attention. In other words, where I recall it, I'm not seeing, like smeared chalk. It looks like it's.
That's bizarre.
It looks like it's all gone, unless I misremember where you had it. But
I'll have to go look. Yeah, I only have one color left.
okay.
I have to order more chalk. I've run out of them. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to help Zena's out with some chalk over on her channel, you could open up another tab and monitor hers. And I think she has a link tree, or actually sptv.space is her site, and I think her link tree is published on that site. So you could send her a few bucks to help buy chalk. And thank you for hitting like. Let's see if there's any chats. Hello, everybody. Can I yell there, or is it illegal? Well, the Kansas City noise ordinance specifically excludes the human voice. Now, there is a state law about disturbing a religious observance. I think they would have a hard time saying that my yelling disturbed it when the bus going by is so loud that you can't hear yourself think. Hello.
You vlogging?
Vlogging? Yes. Vlogging my protest of Scientology. But expanding further on that, I compared the ordinances between University City and Kansas City, Missouri. And I think the ordinances in University City are written so vaguely that the cops are left with a lot of interpretation. The Kansas City, Missouri ordinances are a lot more specific. In fact, I think there's a part about hindering a police officer, and has language in there that says that videoing is not hindering. All right, so looking over at the Scientology parking lot, looks like there are a few more cars parked there that were there when we left. It was about 11 o'clock this morning. Took a little bit of a break, cooled off, recharged some batteries. Yeah, I think this is the spot. There are a few traces. Xena is put down right at this spot. Liz Ferris' suggestion that you, right, if you clean this chalk, then you're in a cult. Wonder what kind of filter the lower conditions Larry puts over his eyes when he cleans our chalk. No, but as far as yelling, when L. Ron Lyer was here a couple of months ago, he did a bunch of yelling outside the Oregon. When the cops came up, all they told him was that, you know, he could do what he was doing, except that this area inside the door frame where this concrete crack is, it delineates the property line, and we can't cross that line, or we're trespassing, or he was trespassing. Yes, this is in Kansas City, Missouri. It's, let's see, whatever time it is, between 1 and 1:30, 1:22. So afternoon courses, first one should be at 1:30, as I understand it. So looking to see if anyone shows up for that. And then we plan to stay here till after 2 to make sure we're on the list for next week's stats. Z News has created with her remaining chalk. You are loved. You can leave. Free litter debt is not enforceable. And the SPTV Foundation phone number. So let me stand up here at the entrance to the alley just to make sure. We got a car turning in. Looks like she's just about out of chalk. Not enough chalk for the holder to grab a hold of it. So we're down to finger tech. Okay, here we are at 125. Looking for hordes of people to arrive for the coursework. People from all over the 6-state area. Northern Oklahoma, western Missouri, and Iowa. Kansas and Nebraska. And perhaps up into the Dakotas as well. Did you? Were you saying something to me? Okay. Just talking. Well, you've got some smear there. The yellow would contrast with the pink.
Yeah.
1:28. Less than 2 minutes before courses start. Listen to how loud that bus is. There's someone yelling would disturb sessions here, and so would the buses driving by. So we have somebody down there with his phone. So let's see, so far it says you can't buy your probably the rest of it is way to spirituality or something like that. Can't buy your way to spiritual freedom. That's the rest of it. do the you're gonna do the hopscotch fizz again, huh?
No, I'm just gonna wipe it out. Oh, do I have bankruptcy? Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, let's see, what time do we have now? How long before stats due? It's 1:37, 23 minutes. Anytime we stay after 2 has to impact the stats for next week. See if they have been emboldened to go out and look. Still intact.
again, that's just we're just going to stand here together.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I like being able to respond to chat, actually what the question is, so I can pick up what to say on my own. Oh wow. Several people are streaming right now. I wouldn't know, it's just the two of us.
Yeah, you'd think with summer here that more people would be doing their streaming in the morning. Walk down to the alley and see it. Okay.
Maybe like your comments are random nonsense, or if you're doing live Headbangers. I don't recognize that. Headbangers? Do you recognize that here in KC?
Headbangers. No,
Yeah.
of course I'm not a party person, so
No. I grew up very sheltered. I grew up in a, not a cult, but in a very conservative, religious family. So I was not allowed to listen to secular music, much secular music. There were a few bands here, but most of them were like older. But I wasn't allowed to listen to like popular when it was on the radio and stuff. So I had to catch up with that like as an adult after I came out of all of that. I don't want to call it brainwashing, but just indoctrination. That's a good word. Indoctrination. When I came out of all that indoctrination, could you listen to gangster rap? That would be okay.
yeah, I don't know. Where do you draw the line between indoctrination and brainwashing?
Yeah,
That's
where do you draw the line?
that is a philosophical question. But wherever that line is, I think Scientology is well past it.
Yes. Yeah. So, if you listen to Mike's story, have you told your story much on stream?
I have a video my first video that I put out a couple of months ago. I gave my history.
So Mike actually grew up in a cult. So he has quite the story about growing up in a cult that he grew up in.
But Scientology is it's either much worse than the cult I grew up in, or maybe I was acclimated to that cult because I've had relatives that were in it, and they, 20 years later they realized, yeah, well, that was a cult.
So I did not grow up in a cult, but I grew up in a very, very strict, legalistic, conservative household. So I had to catch up. I'm still catching up, even to this day. Some people will talk about bands, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I don't know that. And they're like, you don't know Nirvana? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I don't. Because I do now, obviously. But I don't have that.
So when I was a teenager, I managed to overthrow the cult, and I also started smoking. So I did a good thing and a bad thing. Fortunately, I was able to give up the smoking.
Nice.
So, normal teenage rebellion, but
I was not a rebellious teenager at all. I was a toe the line teenager. So yeah, I barely even like snuck anything as a teenager. My parents pretty much could wholeheartedly trust me. Just ran an anagram of Scientology. Some of the results are hilarious. I bet they are. Gitsky. I'm the same way with movies. Haven't seen too many. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Movies were a similar thing. Now, kids' movies. Growing up, I watched a lot of kids' movies.
the typical Walt Disney kind of thing.
Yeah, typical Walt Disney. I grew up watching The Little Mermaid, Lady and the Tramp, all those.
But when you became a teenager and movies that would appeal to a teenager, were you allowed to watch those?
No.
No.
The first R-rated movie I ever saw, I saw in a theater after I had turned 17, and I did have to show my ID to get the ticket, and it was The Matrix.
Okay.
So.
I'm trying to remember, have I seen that movie? I've at least seen excerpts of it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a lot of sex in that movie, was there? Just a lot of violence. And maybe not too much of that.
I don't actually, it's been so long since I've seen The Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I did see, but it was rated PG-13. I did see Titanic when I was 13. Saw that. That was a big deal that my mom let me go see Titanic. And she didn't take me. A friend of hers took her. My mom's friend was like, your daughter needs to see this movie. She's a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah,
and she was right. I needed to see that movie as a 13-year-old girl.
I mean, what was so bad about the Titanic? I guess they had a love interest, but all that stuff took place kind of between scenes.
There was nudity.
Was there? Okay,
There was nudity.
I don't remember that part. But
It was artistic.
okay.
So, yeah, he like draws her nude.
Okay.
Yeah. But they got away with it as a PG-13 because it was artistic.
Okay, rather than direct photograph. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scientology coming in. Can you come in? I'm pretty sure we've seen her before, right?
Yeah, I think she does look familiar. I think she's a scientist.
Good afternoon.
I guess it's not that good of an afternoon. SP's out in front of the org. We walk down to the alley and make sure your artwork is still intact.
Have that nostalgic feeling with music, where like, oh, this was the song, such and such happened in my life. And I just have that. I grew up listening to like worship albums and
So it's 1:51 outside of the KC org. Stats are due in 9 minutes. We are seeing a few Scientos go in. Had one come in just a few minutes ago. This looks like another. Howdy.
They'd washed off all our chalk, so we came back and did a little bit more, and then we figured we'd stick around till 2 to crash their stats.
So next week, you got 8 more minutes.
Yeah, so we've
Please
got
8
more minutes. Yeah, so I mean, in a very strange way, I have nostalgia for like Amy Grant songs.
For which song? Immigrant song?
Amy Grant.
Oh, Amy Grant. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. She was a Christian artist, right? Although, was she a Christian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, that was her
Yeah.
music until she crossed over at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what you grew up listening to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are kids who their parents played Beatles music while they grew up, and they ended up liking it.
Yeah. All of the Scientology music that they play, like out in LA, like the Flag Is Here song,
Stand Up or whatever.
Yeah, We Stand Tall.
Yeah.
It so much reminds me of like the pop worship music.
Yeah.
The Christian pop worship music.
Yeah.
It's so similar. It's so cringe.
Right. Yeah, that's, let's see, what's his name? Seth Andrews, I think. He used to be a Christian radio host, and then he switched over and became an atheist. And he made that criticism of Christian. It's copying mainstream culture and,
But it's
trying to, yeah. It's a poor copy of mainstream.
so much happens when I'm in meetings. Same, declared Dave. Same. Yeah. So Thursday, because I can't make my own schedule, I put aside Thursday now as like my day off, where I come out, do this and whatnot. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I can miss so much. I can miss so much that happens. The Power of Source is way worse. I haven't heard that one. Is that a song? The Power of Source? Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I have heard the Elrond singing.
L. Ron himself singing?
Yes,
Okay.
I did this for you song or something like that. I can't remember. It's the first.
He's probably as bad a singer as I am. I was told don't sing. I've been told don't sing.
What is the one that he sings, that Elrond sings? But it's like, I write just for you is the lyrics. Like,
Okay.
but yeah, you should look it up. It's cringe. It's cringe.
There might be a YouTube video of it. Who knows? There's this channel that has a bunch of L. Ron Hubbard lectures, including the one where he describes the OT3 story of Xenu and the body thetans, or is it Zemu?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's not even sure. Christian rock / pop in one ear and out the other. Done by the Apollo Stars. That was the jazz band that was on the ship. The Apollo 60s and 70s. The album I will look that up.
Wyandotte Street is
I'm sorry?
1819 Wyandotte.
1819 Wyandotte. Which way is Wyandotte? That way, I think.
Wyandotte is that direction?
Okay.
Yeah, so you're on 18. So
I think Wyandotte is what? Maybe about 3 blocks west of Maine.
yeah, it's Wyandotte is a block west of Maine, isn't it?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Look, keep walking west and keep looking for street signs. It's well, this chalk deck is still intact. Hello.
Ooh, we got the stink eye. Did you see that?
Well, we had a somewhat cordial discussion. You know, we didn't agree, but it was cordial a week or two ago.
Oh, is
and
that the same guy? I
yeah,
have really
it was.
bad
You
vision.
noticed the dictionary in his hand.
Right. I have really bad vision.
I wonder how much they've sec checked him. I wonder how much he's paying for that for our brief
I didn't
conversation.
think about that. That may be why he gave us a stink eye. You guys got me in trouble last time.
And as far as I could tell, we didn't change his mind a bit.
No. It was not. It was a Dianetics hat. Yeah, it said Dianetics on it. Yes, I grew up in a very legalistic Christian conservative.
150.
Not technically a cult, but severe indoctrination.
So we got 2 more minutes.
Yeah, which is why I resonate so well with Sea Org members dedicating their life to what they believe in, because I went to missionary training school. I almost became a lifelong missionary for the religion I grew up in. And I understand that. Like, I understand dedicating your life to what you believe in.
But probably as a missionary, you would not ever be asked to wash chalk off the sidewalk.
How did I know? Yeah, so the deconstruction that I went through the deconstruction process of breaking down the belief system, and I mean it took years. It's rough. It's rough to deconstruct when you almost have to break it down to the foundation of who you are. A lot of times, live streaming. Who you are is wrapped up in what you believe. I don't know if you guys can hear all this background noise. It's loud for us.
It's now 2 o'clock.
Strict to the point of traumatic.
We need to stay a few more minutes to make
I
sure that.
wouldn't say strict to the point of traumatic in the same way that some of my friends who grew up in the same group would have been traumatized. They had, like, their parents weren't. I have incredible parents. I have wonderful parents. My parents are loving, supportive. They went through the deconstruction with me, so like we're all out of that really. So even though we were all in that really strict getting married again in a Presbyterian church. Woo.
Yeah.
A little bit of religious whiplash there. Now I'm not into organized religious congregations anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, the cult like
So the couple of people that have just gone into the cult, yes, they are very aware that we are protesting Scientology. The lady I think we've talked to multiple times. The male, Mike, started up an actual conversation with him one of the previous times, had a conversation with him. I kind of came in and ruined it. I shouldn't have talked, but I did.
I don't think you read it.
Well, I feel like I took over the conversation. Anyway, that guy doesn't like us at all. He knows what we're about.
And I don't think we insulted him or it was
do my parents know I'm out here protesting? Context. Oh, sorry, what were you saying about the guy?
I said I don't think we had an insulting conversation. It was an exchange of ideas, so
Correct. Yeah, we weren't mean to
I
the
didn't
guy at all.
didn't call him an idiot or anything like that.
No, we were just conversing. Yes, my parents know that I come out here, so yes, they are aware that I am protesting Scientology, and they're very aware of the fact that I, did a deep dive into Scientology. Every family get together, it's like, I start talking about Scientology and they'll go, oh, she's talking about Scientology again. Like it's a thing. So I've actually started, if I decide to start talking about Scientology with my family, I now go, so this one time in Scientology. I start the conversation that way because, to be like, I get it, I know, I always talk about Scientology.
Well, I think it's okay.
Are we
Somebody.
Is he without trash?
I'm not sure. We had a Scientologist sneak out of the Grand Street entrance. He's carrying what looks like a mail basket under his arm. But he might be heading for the trash dumpster, which is at the corner of the Scientology parking lot.
It's been hard for my family to understand why I'm doing this whole anti-Scientology stuff. Oh, interesting. Yeah, my family just kind of thinks, like, good for you for standing up and like, also kind of thinks it's weird. Like, not like in a bad weird way, just kind of like that's what you've decided to do with your time.
Yep.
My awesome cousin is basically stuck in Jehovah's Witness. She has been through is very similar to Scientology. I've literally told her you're in a cult to her face, but she can't leave. Yeah. So,
Well,
Jehovah's Witness is pretty rough too. I had a friend while I was a missionary, while I was in like the missionary training program, and I was looking for all the missionary field. I met a Jehovah's Witness who knocked on my door, and we did, like Bible studies together to like compare notes on what we believed. And I actually convinced her to leave, like with what I was showing her. Now, granted, I don't even believe what I was showing her now, but what I was showing her then
was probably a little closer to reality than what she was believing.
I don't know. I don't know if that's even true. But anyway, she left. She left Jehovah's Witness after that.
My opinion of the Bible is it's a very versatile book. You can get any meaning out of it you want, particularly the book of Revelation.
Oh,
it's so symbolic that it can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Yep, you're not kidding.
And there are people who've made lots of money pretending to understand it.
This is very true.
Yeah. So for a while I had a blog against somebody like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had a blog.
This was about almost 20 years ago now. Or no, not quite that. Over 15 anyways when I started it. No, he continued on towards the second parking lot down there.
Oh, interesting. I was reading your chat. Well, it's after 2.
Yep, after 2.
We've
It's 7 minutes after 2.
probably officially crashed their stats. I don't know. I have no idea if us being out here doesn't their stats. I'll take you guys around with the chocolate.
Yeah, go defend your chalk a little bit. So this chalk, yeah, it's still intact. But probably within 10 minutes after we're gone, it'll probably be washed clean. Well, maybe not clean, but at least washed, mirrored.
I ran out of chocolate today, so after they washed it,
Yeah. So we'll get a last look at this chalk. Since we're going to leave, it'll probably disappear, only to be immortalized by the video here.
total.
Bridge to total bankruptcy this way with arrows leading into the cult.
That's all she wrote. Let's see. Thanks, guys, again.
Yep.
Second
I
time
think-
around.
Yeah. I'm going to end my stream as well. Thanks to those of you that have stuck with me. Not a huge amount of activity outside the Kansas City idle morgue. Class 5 idle morgue.
Are all these orbs actually literally downset, or are we guessing that?
Bye.
Every time